With the forthcoming premiere of The Bad Batch on Disney+, the Star Wars universe will be extended once more in an animated style. The series, which is based on the Clone Wars squad, attempts to fill in some of the holes between the collapse of the Republic and the rise of the Empire. Given its location in the timeline, as well as some of the links already pointed in at the teaser, it's obvious that The Bad Batch won't be coy about its relations to the much broader expanded universe, as this animated series brings more information and color to pre-existing characters and planets. The galaxy far, far away will feel a little bit larger. Throughout the expanded universe of the franchise, the criminal underworld has been extensively investigated. There have been a slew of comics on the subject, as well as novels and the cancelled video game called 1313. However, Solo, a Star Wars story, might have made the most progress in the underworld. Since the Bad Batch is a contract gunman, it's very possible that they collaborate with well-known bounty hunters and work with major crime lords. There's space for all of these characters and their respective syndicates to become involved in the story, from the Hutts to Solos Kira and Dryden Voss. The Mandalorian on Disney Plus has not only been a perfect vehicle for enjoyable cameos from across the Star Wars universe, but it has also exposed fans to characters that can feature elsewhere. Fennec Shand, a sharpshooter, is a fine example of this. The bounty hunter and new Boba Fett ally has been reported for the Bad Batch and can also be seen in the teaser. While this iteration of the character is still early in her career, she seems to have plenty of blaster expertise and may be a helpful ally to the mutant clones. Darth Maul, the prominent Sith Lord, has been depicted in a multitude of ways over the years. Datomir's son was said to have been killed in the Phantom Menace before making a victorious comeback in the Clone Wars with his brother Savage Opress. Maul was discovered to be the mastermind behind the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate by Solo. In the Clone Wars, he was seen with criminal connections and is a core member of the Shadow Collective. The plot threads are in place for Maul to return to this animated universe, maybe as a boss for the Bad Batch. The Empire will have a major role in the Bad Batch, as Palpatine himself announces a new age for the galaxy in the trailers. This early era is a dark one, but it's one that hasn't been discussed in great depth, particularly on film. Stormtroopers are beginning to make their existence known throughout civilization as a result of the Emperor's firm hold on the former Republic. They were seen in the teaser and might end up as some of the show's more significant villains. For a galaxy under so much control, there's a certain degree of lawlessness when the Empire begins to let unsavory acts go unpunished. Piracy is a difficult subject in this period, but pirate Hondo Ohnaka will do everything he can to survive and even succeed. Ohnaka has appeared in both the Clone Wars and Rebels, so he'd be a natural fit for the middle chapter of this unofficial trilogy. Apart from Hondo, pirates have a place in this story because they are a big danger in deep space. After being scrapped alongside other Legends material from the original Star Wars expanded universe, The Mandalorian reintroduced the Dark Troopers into official canon for the first time. The Bad Batch will see the return of these robotic troops. Since animation is far less expensive than live action, it's likely that a larger variety of Dark Troopers would be shown here. Moff Gideon has just recently completed his own build, but the troopers here are much earlier efforts to produce the ultimate killing machine. Sarah Junda's own timeline is a bit hazy. After narrowly surviving the Jedi Purge, she cuts herself off from the army due to the effects of the collapse of the Republic and the rise of the Empire. Junda is a reluctant fighter in the Jedi Fallen Order who is also recovering from the wounds of her life. The Bad Batch could be the best way for viewers to read more about Sarah Junda's early days of gloom. If the Bad Batch gets recruited to go Jedi hunting, the character will definitely make a fascinating target. Cal Kestis, on the other hand, is hiding in plain sight at this stage, so he could make an appearance in his own right. The Clone Wars created a number of interesting subplots regarding the slave trade, something Anakin has an incredibly bad history with. If the Empire was going to be built from the ground up, then slaves were an important part of the process. The Zygerians were a race of cat-like people who were some of the largest slavers in the galaxy. They utilized laser whips during combat, and in the trailer, there is clearly a Zygerian slaver fighting off the Bad Batch with their trademark weapon of choice. If you look carefully enough, you can see a few droids lurking in the trailer's frames. Although nothing can be proven officially, the Empire may need to do a lot of cleaning up after the Clone Wars before it can truly thrive. There are definitely a number of war droids still active in the galaxy, and someone would have to take steps to shut them down. There are no fighting droids left at the time of the Galactic War in the first Star Wars films, so something must have happened to them. The Bad Batch will show you how they were absolutely wiped out. While it may seem self-evident, there is a strong correlation between the final season of the Clone Wars and this new animated series, The Bad Batch. The series is based on the clone team who were allegedly created as a result of the cloning process going wrong. This connection is intriguing because it portrays the show as a kind of homage to the iconic hit series. The show's previews have hinted that it would return to the clones' homeworld of Kamino, so more details on what happened to them after the Republic fell could be announced.